Hello everyone, it's Charlie and welcome back to the Chatting Footy Show YouTube channel once again. Hope you're all doing well today. So, today we're just going to go through the latest round of Premier League fixtures from the weekend just gone. We've had some really good games, some interesting results, so we're just going to cover all them. Before I go any further guys, please hit the like button on this, subscribe. The more exposure the channel gets, the better. I'm really wanting to grow this. It's something I'm really excited about, and hopefully in the future and over the next coming weeks and months we can provide some good content for you. So the first game of the weekend was Fulham against Leeds. I've already done a video on this, my post-match thoughts on that. I'll put the link to that video in the description below, so if you haven't checked it out, go check that out. It's a good watch. So yeah, briefly for those who haven't watched, it finished Fulham 1, Leeds United 2. My team, Leeds. So we played really well. I think for the large periods of that game, we were much the better side. I feel we controlled the tempo really well. We won the midfield battle, which I said in my pre-match for that was going to be the key battle in the game, and I feel we came out on top on that. Obviously, as always with Leeds, there's always the odd shaky part, there's always the odd scare. I mean, the goal that they scored was from a corner again. Luke Ayling was not tight enough on his man. How the ball managed to go quite low, like wasn't a high ball into the box, it was quite low, and the Fulham player just managed to get his foot round it, which was really poor defending from Ayling. To be honest, he has been really well this season, but obviously set pieces is not his strong point. But apart from that, as I say, we played really well and we were deserved winners. Obviously that defeat for Fulham still left them in the bottom three. The fighting with Newcastle, I think, are the main threat for that final relegation spot that they'll be wanting to beat. We'll be able to cover Brighton Newcastle in just a second, but yeah, if I'm honest with you, I do think Fulham are going to be the team that stay up. They seem to be playing much better than what Newcastle are at the moment, so yeah, hopefully they manage to stay up. I think Scott Parker has done a good job considering the circumstances and the squad that they've got, so hopefully he gets what he deserves and keeps them in the Premier League. So the next game of the weekend was Brighton against Newcastle, which shaped up to be a very interesting game at the bottom of the table. Brighton absolutely hammering Newcastle by 3-0. Goals from Trossard, Welbeck and Maupay gave them that win. Yeah, I mean, personally, it was as expected. I fancied Brighton to win the game. I'll be honest, not by that scoreline. I thought it was going to be a bit closer than that, but in the end, like I say, it was kind of expected that they were going to take all 3 points. Welbeck's goal was the pick of the bunch for me. Really good shot from outside of the box to find the bottom corner to completely beat the keeper. Newcastle just look so woeful at the moment. I mean, you've got to feel sorry for them in a way. I think Bruce has definitely lost that dressing room 100%. How they're playing at the moment, they deserve to go down. And like I've just said previously about Fulham, I think Fulham are playing so much better considering they're a place below. And yeah, I feel like Newcastle deservedly need to go down because there's just no leaders on that pitch. No one is taking charge on that pitch and saying, come on lads, enough is enough. Like, it's just the basics of football that they're just not doing right at all. The defending is so poor. No creativity in that midfield whatsoever. Yeah, Callum Wilson hasn't been playing a lot recently and he's probably their only he is their only goal scorer that they've got really. But even the times I've watched him when he's in the team, like they're still the same. They've had the odd win here and there where they've looked okay, but they just look so woeful. And Mike Ashley, the owners, come out after that game and said that he's got the backing, like Bruce has got the backing. I really don't know how. How can you be happy with this level of football being played at your club? I mean, I like Newcastle as a team. I feel like a lot of similarities with other clubs, big fan base, a big loyal fan base, and they don't deserve to be watching their team play that bad. But if you're going on the performances and the season that they've had, they should go down over Fulham. Fulham might have started off badly, but they've come in really good recently. I know that we beat them, but I feel like that's just a blip. Fulham have got the easier running of the two as well. I think Newcastle have still got to play the likes of City and Liverpool and teams like that. And Leicester, I think, as well. It's just not going to go well. I mean, Newcastle are 2 points ahead of Fulham, and they both actually play each other on the final game, which, if it goes to that final game, that's just going to be an unbelievable game to watch. I personally think it'll be decided before then, whether it's Fulham going down or Newcastle. I think it'll have already been decided by then. But I mean, from a neutral's perspective, it'd be good if it could go to the final game, because you'd really know then who wants it more, who wants to stay in this league, and who is the better team. Simple. I think Fulham are the better team, as I do keep saying throughout this video. But yeah, Newcastle just are so woeful, and they deservedly lost 3-0 to Brighton. They were much better. Brighton seemed to control the game really well from the highlights that I've seen. They created more chances, and yeah, there were no complaints there. They were thoroughly deserved winners of that game. Moving on then to the next game of the weekend, which was at the London Stadium for West Ham against Arsenal. Game finished 3-3. Unbelievable game to watch as a neutral. I mean, it had everything. I mean, it was a complete game of two halves, because West Ham first half came out all guns blazing, playing like they have done for the majority of this season really well. The football was so fluid, the passing, the movement was just amazing. Lingard scored an absolute worldie of a goal. He's playing out of his skin at the moment. For me, seems like a totally different player since he's gone there on loan from Man United. I think it's hard for Lingard to get back into that Man United team, if I'm honest. You know, they've paid 40 odd million for Van der Beek, and he can't even get into the team. So if I were Lingard, I'd make that move permanent in summer. He's playing so well. I think the style of play that West Ham are playing at the moment just suits him down to a T. And you know, even the assists for Bowen's goal, just quick, instinctive play, took advantage of the fact that Arsenal switched off. You know, they were too busy moaning at the ref over whether it was a free kick or not or whatever. And, you know, he sees Bowen, plays him straight in. By the time Arsenal realise it's too late, the ball's back in the back of the net, and it's 2-0 West Ham. Third goal, again, really good goal in terms of, you know, obviously from West Ham perspective. I think Antonio thought it was offside, because as he headed it down, he thought Souček was off, because it came off Souček to go in. It's only when you see the replay that he was actually just onside. And yeah, came off Souček, and it actually went down as his goal. But yeah, good play from Antonio to beat his man in the air. And yeah, that's ultimately what led to that goal. And you know, Arsenal were looking pretty defeated at 3-0. And then they scored just before half time to make it 3-1. So it was actually a Souček own goal, so he actually scored a goal for both teams in that first half. But a good play from Arsenal, a good shot from Alex Lacazette. I think it were going out if it hadn't have hit Souček though, but at that point in the game they happily took that, and that just gave them the momentum that they needed for the second half. I thought second half they were outstanding. Really good play from Arsenal. West Ham just seemed to sit back, which is odd. You know, from a West Ham perspective, when Arsenal have obviously scored just before half time, you're thinking, right, well, they need to come out and they need to maybe get an early goal to stamp that authority again, you know, that they're not letting this lead go. But they kind of just seemed to sit back. I mean, they created the odd chance, obviously, but there was nothing. It was nothing like the first half an hour in the first half. Like, they totally just switched. It was so weird. It was like both teams have switched over. Second goal for Arsenal, you know, a helping hand from Craig Dawson's own goal, but good crossing from Chambers, who actually got the man of the match, and rightly so. I thought he had a really, really good game. Great ball in, which forced the error from Dawson to put it into the back of his own net. And yeah, third goal, Alex Lacazette, really good header, crossing from Pepe, and And yeah, I mean, they completed the perfect comeback. A proper game of two halves, both teams proper going at it. And I think Arsenal will just be really happy that they managed to get a point from that game, because at 3-0 it was looking like it was going to get embarrassing. But yeah, really happy for them that they managed to get back into it, and that in the end it was a fair draw, because West Ham had the majority of the first half, and then Arsenal had the whole of the second half, so a fair draw in my opinion. And the final game of this week's Premier League action was at Villa Park for Aston Villa against Spurs. I mean, a game that was, I'll be honest, quite dull in the first half. There wasn't a lot of chances created at all, really. I mean, nice for Vinicius, however you pronounce his name, to get his first Premier League goal for Spurs. I mean, it was an error from the Villa keeper that led to it, and a simple tap-in for him, but I guess that gives him a good confidence booster, because he's not had the best of luck since he's joined Spurs. So nice of him to get his first goal. Quite surprised to see Bale left on the bench. I don't know if that was because of the Europa League in midweek, where they crashed out quite dramatically against Dinamo Zagreb. But yeah, I think the first half was just dull. I mean, apart from the goal, that was the most entertaining thing that happened. And yeah, into the second half, it was much of the same, really. I mean, Villa tried to get back into it, but it just seemed like one of those days for them where, like, nothing was working. They've still got Grealish out injured, who obviously is their best player, their captain. They were missing that creativity on top 100%. Without Grealish in that team, they're a totally different team when they're going forward. And yeah, the second goal for Spurs it was from poor judgment from Matty Cash. I feel like Kane is going to run that ball out of play, and he actually does run it out of play, but yeah, he still goes to ground and still brings him down when it's really not needed. And yeah, leads to a penalty, and Kane obviously slots it home. I feel like if Spurs don't win a trophy this season, I mean they're in the League Cup final against City. Highly unlikely that they're going to get a win in that, but it could happen. But if they don't get a trophy, I think Kane needs to move on. And I think Man City could be a destination for him if they, for whatever reason, fail to sign Erling Haaland in the summer. So then guys, that wraps up the first Premier League roundup on the channel. If you've enjoyed it, as I said at the beginning, please hit the like button, subscribe, let's keep growing the channel, let's get it somewhere. As I said at the beginning, I'm really excited to see where this goes. We've got Champions League coming soon, we've got more Premier League content, some more Leeds United stuff as well, as I am a Leeds fan, so I will be covering Leeds as well. And in a few months when it's the Euros, I'll be trying to get as much content out there as possible, so please, if you're enjoying these videos, please hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you later.